Buongiorno! Benvenuti sul mio canale. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about how to pronounce the dreadful GLI letter combination in Italian. Apart from really a couple of words, there is only one way to pronounce the combination GLI. You know how to say yesterday, yesterday, This is the same sound you should be doing when you want to say ye. Yesterday, but it's ye, and you're going to say ye. If you have heard other sounds, it's only because this letter combination is pronounced differently in some regions. But it doesn't mean that it's correct. It's correct, but only in those regions. By that I mean that although of course we do want to speak in the most standardized way possible, if you only talk to friends of those regions, you might want to imitate them. In some regions in the north, you might pronounce it gli, li, and in other ways I'm not 100% able to imitate. The right pronunciation is yi, like yes, yesterday, just yi. In Italian there are only a couple of words which do not follow this rule. And these are words which are level C2, C1. So unless your level is C1, C2, more C2 than C1 because these are specialized words, you just have to remember yi. Oggi vorrei dirvi alcune parole molto utili, molto carine, che hanno la combinazione yi nella parola. Today I would like to tell you some nice words, nice and useful words, which have the combination yi inside the word itself. Apart from the ones that I'm going to tell you in a second, you probably know that yi is also an article in Italian. Before we go ahead, I would like to remind you, if you need to, I don't know, when you use yi as an article in Italian. Do you know it? Lo sai? You use it only with masculine words in the plural, but only if the masculine word starts with a number of specific letters or letter combinations. This is not the easiest topic in Italian, especially if your mother tongue is English or a language where you don't have articles. But don't worry, lo facciamo insieme! We are going to do it together. If a word is masculine and it starts with a vowel, in the plural you are going to use yi. Useful examples: gli amici, the friends. We normally pronounce everything together, so gli amici, like ya, gli amici. Another example is albero, tree, alberi, trees, gli alberi, or more informally, gli alberi, gli alberi, or gli alberi. Gli alberi, more informal, gli alberi, a bit more difficult, a bit more formal. But it's the same, you write them in the same way. A useful one is uomini. Maybe you know uomo, uomini, gli uomini, the men. Sometimes it's also used to imply the humankind. If you like sports, you could say gli atleti, or gli atleti, the athletes. Apart from words starting with a vowel, only masculine words, there are other categories, but the most important one are masculine words starting with S and followed by a consonant. For example, gli spaghetti, studente, student, studenti, gli studenti. st, spaghetti, studenti, gli spaghetti, gli studenti. Why did I say SPST? because these are the most common letter combinations that you will see with yi. So you might want to remember masculine words starting with a consonant and followed by a consonant, which is kind of complicated. If you remember only 2 examples, spaghetti, studenti, spaghetti, sp, and studenti, st, you will know which article you should put in most cases. There are 4 more cases where you should use yi, always with masculine words, always in the plural, but these are such rare cases that I really would advise you remembering only 4 examples. Not necessarily the rule, but 4 examples. You know when you say in English pneumatic? In italiano si dice pneumatico, pneumatico. This word starts with pn. This is a campanello d'allarme. No, no. This is an alert which should tell you that the word in the plural will take yi. But how many words do you really use which start with pn? In Italian, I personally use only this one. So you could also only remember this word. Gli pneumatici, gli pneumatici. If you never say this word, you don't even need to remember it. The second case is in the case you like yogurt. Yogurt starts with a Y, and if a word starts with a Y in Italian, in the plural, if this word is masculine, we'll take yi. Yi yogurt. As yogurt is a foreign word, the word does not have a plural. When you want to say yogurt, you will say yogurt in the singular and yogurt in the plural, without an S, without anything. Like caffè. Caffè is not an Italian word. Un caffè, 2 caffè. Let's go back to our topic. So, gli yogurt. Again, if you don't eat yogurt, you don't necessarily need to remember that words starting with the Y in the singular need to get yi in the plural. If you like gnocchi, I think you know what it is. Gnocchi is an Italian dish and it's pronounced gnocchi, gnocchi, gn like in cognac, gnocchi. If a word starts with gn, which is quite rare in Italian, will be, if the word is masculine, gli gnocchi. But mostly with this word. There are not so many words which start with gn. The last one I really would advise you to remember is gli zii. Maybe you know zio. Zio means uncle. Zii is the plural, uncles. Gli zii, a masculine word starting with z or z, in the plural will take yi. Gli zii. Summary? Words starting with vowels: gli amici, gli amici. Gli pneumatici, gli gnocchi, gli yogurt, gli zii. Now I would like to teach you some words, some very useful words in Italian which have this letter combination inside the word. Aglio, 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 garlic. Tagliare, 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 to cut. Tovaglia, 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 tablecloth. The last word is not necessarily very important to you, but it's very interesting because there are 2 other words which are very similar and are used in a very similar context. Tovaglia, tablecloth. Tovagliolo, tovagliolo, napkin. Tovaglietta, table mat, placemat. Now another word which is very similar. I've just told you that tagliare means to cut. Tagliare, are. If you say tagliere, you are not saying another verb, you are saying chopping board, cutting board. Now I would like to tell you a tongue twister in Italian which contains all these words. You don't have to learn it, I personally don't really like tongue twisters because normally they contain words that I'm never going to use. But in this case, if any of these words are interesting to you and you think you might use them in the future, might be a funny way to learn them. Prima ti dico lo scioglilingua a velocità normale. First I'm going to tell you the tongue twister at a normal speed. E poi lo dico piano e lo diciamo insieme. Then I will say it more slowly and we are going to say it together. Va bene? Ok? Sul tagliere l'aglio taglia. Non tagliare la tovaglia non è aglio, se la tagli fai uno sbaglio. I know, too many y. Ma non ti preoccupare, don't worry, this is really just to learn y and some useful words. No need to understand the deep meaning of the tongue twister, only the words themselves. Tagliere, chopping board, cutting board, aglio, garlic, taglia, it cuts. Sul tagliere l'aglio taglia. Again. Sul tagliere l'aglio taglia. Tagliare to cut. Tovaglia tablecloth. Non tagliare la tovaglia. Non tagliare la tovaglia. La tovaglia non è aglio. La tovaglia non è aglio. This sentence doesn't make any sense. But tovaglia, tablecloth, aglio, garlic. Se la tagli, fai uno sbaglio. Se la tagli, if you cut it, the tablecloth, fai uno sbaglio. You make a mistake. Sbaglio is a word for mistake. Sbaglio. Sbaglio. In un altro video ti dirò tante parole utili con la y. In another video, I'm going to tell you many useful words with the letter combination GLI. Per adesso ricorda GLI, y come in yes, yesterday. Y, gli, aglio, tovaglia, sbaglio, tagliare. Spero che questo video sia stato utile. I really hope it was useful for you. You can always suggest other topics in the comments. Puoi suggerire altri temi nei commenti. Alla prossima! Bye! Ciao!